All right, hi chemistry students. I hope you have your assignment open now, and if you are watching this video, that means you wanted a little bit more help. So put your assignment and this video in split screen on your iPad so you can have them open side by side. Okay, I'm going to go through this first example. Even though it's written on your assignment, I'll go through it step by step to show you how we can do it, and then we'll go through one or two more together also. So calcium iodide. If we need to write the chemical formula for calcium iodide, we're going to follow our three basic steps. Step 1, write the symbol and charge for the metal and the non-metal. What's the symbol for calcium? And for iodide? You can see it there. Ca is for calcium, I for iodide. Now, we need to use our periodic table to get those charges. What charge are you going to write next to the symbol Ca? You can see calcium there on the periodic table, and so it has a charge of 2+. Did you find iodide or iodine on the periodic table? It's way down here, and that has a charge of 1-. Okay? First step is easy. Write the symbol and the charge. Step 2, let's check to see if those two charges add up to 0. When we take a +2 and a -1, that equals 1. They do not add up to 0. So now we need to go to step 3. In step 3, we're going to start with the list and count method. We're going to list the ions with their charges until we get a neutral charge. The positives and the negatives add up to 0. So our calcium had that positive plus or 2+, and our iodine had a 1- charge. You can see a +2 and a 1- do not add up to 0. Which one do we need more of? Do we need more calcium or more iodide? Yes, we need some more iodide. When we add one more, now we have a -1 and a -1 together is a -2. Now we have a +2 over here, a -2 over here. We've got the charges added up to 0. Now we just need to count the number of ions in each list. So I'll count. How many calciums do I have? Just 1. So I write my calcium below, but I do not need to write 1 as a subscript. When there's no subscript written, that means it's just 1. Okay, how many iodides do we have in our list? Here's 1 and 2. So what am I going to write down below? If you said I2, you were correct. Okay. The other quick way to find out a formula is use the crisscross methods. We crisscross the charges to find the subscripts. So again, we start with our Ca 2+, our I 1-. We crisscross the charge. So we move that 1 from the charge of the iodide down to the calcium. And we move that charge of 2+ from the calcium down to the iodide. And we come up with Ca. We know it's 1. We don't have to write 1 as a subscript, so we leave that. Whereas our iodide, we bring down the 2. Again, remember that if you're using the crisscross methods, do not include positive or negative in the subscripts. As you can see, though, we have the same answer for both of them. Both methods work to get us the chemical formula. All right. So, are we ready to try one on the iPad? we have our 3 steps right up here. We're going to use those as we work through number 2 and number 3 together. Okay, so our first job is to, number 1, write these out as ions, magnesium and fluoride. That means we need to write the symbol and the charge. Magnesium, do you remember the symbol for magnesium? What is it? It is Mg. Do you remember the symbol for fluoride or fluorine? That is F. Okay, let's use our periodic table. Where is magnesium on here and what charge will it have? Magnesium is over here, so looking up, it's a +2. Where is fluoride? Fluoride's over here, so it's a -1. I'm going to bring those charges down to my assignment. Okay, magnesium, I'm going to do my 2+, and fluoride, I'm going to do my 1-. Okay, so we did step 1, we wrote them as ions. Now step 2, we need to check, do these charges add up to 0? Got a +2 on this side, a -1 on this side. No, those charges do not add up to 0. This compound is not neutral yet. We've got to fix that. So number 3, I'm going to do one of these, and I'm going to do the list and count method. Okay, so I'm going to list my ions, Mg, 2+, F is a 1-. Okay, so which one of these ions do I need more of? Do I need more magnesium or do I need more fluoride? I need more fluoride. So I'm going to put another F1-. Now let's check our charges. Here on this side I have a +2. On this side I have a -1 and another -1. That makes a -2. So over here I've got +2. Over here I got -2. Those add up to 0. Our compound is neutral. Next thing I need to do is count what I have put in my list. How many magnesium ions did we need? I just have 1 written down, so I'm going to write magnesium, but I don't need to write a subscript of 1. That's just assumed. How many fluorides do I have? 1, 2. So I'm going to put my fluoride with a 2. There you have it. That's our formula for our ionic compound. We want to write it neatly over here. MgF2. Okay. How'd that feel for you? I hope you're starting to get the hang of it. Let's try one more together. Number 3, strontium chloride. Okay, so strontium, it's not an element that we have seen a lot or done a lot with in chemistry. So I'm going to go up to my periodic table, erase my old marks, and look for strontium. Now, strontium is the metal, so I know it's going to be kind of on the left side of my periodic table, and I found it right down here. So what is going to be the charge of strontium? If you said a +2, you are correct. So I'm going to go and put that in so I don't forget. Sr2+. Now we need chloride. Let's go back to our periodic table. Where's chloride or chlorine? What charge will it have? You found chlorine. Over here, you'll see chloride will have a charge of -1. So I'm going to bring that down. Cl 1 minus. Okay. So again, I did step 1. I wrote the ions and their charges. Now, step 2, do those charges equal 0? Well, I look, a 2 plus and a 1 minus. No, those do not equal 0. They don't add up to 0 yet. So again, I'm going to do the list and count method. So I'm going to list SR2 plus Cl1 minus. All right. So my strontium, I have a +2 on this side, a -1 on this side. Which do I need more of? I need more chloride. So I'm going to write another chloride with my 1 minus. Now, let's check the charges. On this side, I have a -1 and a -1. Those add up to -2. On this side, I already have a +2. Now my charges balance out. So the only thing I have left is to count, what do I have in my list? So how many strontiums do I have? Let's look. Just 1 in my list. So I'm going to write my strontium, and I do not need to write the 1 as a subscript. Again, that is assumed. How many chlorides do I have in my list? 1, 2. So down below, what am I going to write? Did you say Cl2? If so, you're right. And we're done. I'm just going to write it neatly over here. SrCl2. All right. I hope those examples helped you. Try the rest of the problems on your own. If you're still having trouble, look on your Schoology calendar, find out when Mr. Banker, Ms. Zilski, or myself are holding a Google Meet. Come join us. We'd be happy to walk you through more examples and do these problems together. You can always send us an email if you have a question. We'll be answering those too. Good luck. See you.